What if I told you you had a superpower that most people fail to fully utilize? However, if you take full advantage of this, it'll help you to make great progress in your life. What is this superpower? It's your mind. It's namely the expectations you set for yourself. See, an expectation is a future imagined outcome. It's what outcome we expect to see in the future. For example, if I say, I'm going to have a great day today, I'm expecting to have a great day. Vice versa, I'm going to have a terrible day today, my expectation is on a future outcome that is undesirable. Nonetheless, it's all made up. It's not based on any evidence. But it can be. But it doesn't have to be. That's why our expectations are such a superpower. See, we often believe our expectations because what we focus on, we tend to believe. So when we focus on an expectation, whether good or bad, we tend to believe that. And when we believe it, we'll act in a way that's consistent with seeing that expectation come to fruition. So when we expect good things, we'll behave in a way that helps us to get the good things we expect. But if we expect bad things, then our expectations will come to fruition through our poor actions. So if this is the case, why do so many people set poor expectations for themselves when that allows them or makes them live in a way that's inconsistent with the desires they have for themselves? One of the reasons people do this is because of comfort of failure. See, if I expect a poor outcome and I actually get it, well, that's what I expected to happen. So I feel better about myself because I thought it was going to happen. The second reason is because of habits. We have expected poor things for so long that it's harder to act in a way that's inconsistent with the bad habit we have developed. And the third reason is because we don't truly believe it. We don't truly believe we'll get the good expectations that we have for ourselves, so we just default to negative expectations. See, we often do what is default, and because we have performed bad in the past, our default is failure. So our expectations align with what we have performed in the past, which is the default of bad results, which helps us or allows us or makes us to set poor expectations rather than good ones. It makes it harder to set good expectations. So what should we do about this? Well, one thing we can do is set good expectations by deliberately getting rid of the poor habit we have developed. See, if we consistently only do good expectations, set good expectations for ourselves, then it will become easier to do it every time. And because we have done it, we'll focus on it. And because we focus on it, we'll believe it. And when we believe it, we'll live it out and make great progress in our lives because we're living according to desires that we have for ourselves. But a lot of people have these expectations, but it's inconsistent to the work they want to put in. So they don't believe they'll get the outcome that they expect, and that leads to disappointment because desire without work is disappointment. See, if I desire to make the NBA, I can have an expectation of, hey, I'm going to make the NBA. It's a future imagined outcome. So I made up that outcome. However, if I'm not willing to put in the work it takes to get it, that desire, that expectation is only going to lead to disappointment because my actions are inconsistent to the results I want to have. So we have to make sure that our expectations align with the work we're willing to put in. And then when we focus on it, we'll believe it so that it'll become easier to put in that work. And we'll be more motivated to do so. See, motivation is the product of aligned perspective and values. So when I value something and my perspective is right, I'm oftentimes motivated to do it. So where do values come from? Well, one thing values come from is our past. See, if I was lacking something in the past, I value it right now. For example, if I haven't drink water in a few hours, well, that past perceived void creates a present perceived value, as Mario Gordon puts it. As in, because I've lacked water in the past, now I desire it. Another thing that produces our values is our present perceived virtues. As in, if I desire kind people, if I desire good people, Well, that present perceived virtue creates a present pursued value. As in, I value becoming that person, as Myron Golden once again puts it. Another thing that creates value is future imagined outcomes or expectations. See, if I expect a good outcome, I place a value on that. I say, hey, that's what I expect, that's what I want to happen, so that's what I'm going to try to make happen. So our values can come from our expectations, and a good perspective also aligned will create motivation for ourselves. So how can we get a good perspective? Well, every fact in life has a positive and a negative aspect to it. We can either view a fact as positive or negative. For example, a fact today is that it's sunny outside. Well, I can view that fact in the positive aspect, saying, man, I can go outside and go for a run, it's good weather. Or I can view from the negative aspect, in that, man, it's hot today. It's all determined on my perspective, which is simply how you view an aspect of a fact. So taking what we learn about values and combining that with perspective, we can have motivation for ourselves. We set good expectations and we look at the positive aspect of fulfilling it. If I say, man, I'm going to make the NBA, well, the positive aspect of that is, hey, I'll have millions of dollars. So that value that I have of making the NBA through my expectation and that perspective of making the money makes me motivated to receive that outcome that I have imagined for myself. And when I'm willing to put in the work, that desire that I have doesn't always lead to disappointment. Even though, and that's the case despite if I fulfill that desire or not. See, my coach told me that the only loss in life is when you don't take advantage of an opportunity. So if the opportunity I have to make the NBA is there, well, if I put in the work it takes to get it, but I still fail to reach my goal, I've actually taken advantage of the opportunity that I have because I put in effort. But the loss would be if I have that desire and I don't work towards it. That desire will lead to disappointment and I fail to take advantage of the opportunity, even though I got the same outcome, the same result as I did when I did put in effort. Because the loss is based on how much effort you put in, not on whether or not you reach your desired outcome. So going back to expectations, it's our greatest superpower because when we imagine an outcome, we place a value on it, and that value combined with good perspective creates motivation. Furthermore, when we put an expectation on something and we focus on that, it can turn into our beliefs. And we normally live in a way that's consistent with our beliefs, or we choose to live in a way that makes our beliefs possible. So by simply having good expectations, I give myself the belief and motivation to live in a way that makes me ready and in a position to have those expectations fulfilled. But the vice versa is also the case. When I have bad expectations, I may not see disappointment because I'm setting such low standards for myself. However, I will be motivated to receive a bad outcome, and I believe I'm going to produce bad outcomes, which makes it harder to live in a way that's inconsistent with those expectations. So make sure to set good expectations. That's your greatest superpower, one of them, when used correctly. A great power we have is our mind, so make sure to use your mind right. And if you want to learn more about that, follow my channel, make sure to subscribe. I'm going to talk a lot about the mind in the future, God willing. And hopefully this video helped you in any way. If you have any comments, suggestions, or recommendations, please leave them in the comments. I want to get better at YouTube. And yeah, thank you guys for watching today.